everybody, it's Kia. So today I wanted to get a very important video recorded, and as you can tell from the title, this is going to be our debt confession video. I wanted to do a little intro before I hop in and we dive into the numbers, but the important thing is that we are trying to do a debt-free journey restart. Things have been super crazy the last several years. We did try to go through, list everything out last year. We were going to try and create a plan, create a budget, and sadly, life just kept throwing us curveballs, and we ended up falling back into old habits. So this year, now that I'm finally through tax season, it's kind of like New Year's resolution time. I want to restart everything, create new habits, and hopefully get out of this mess that we've created. So just a little back history. Me and my husband, we've been married almost 15 years. It's going to be 15 years in December. We have 3 kids, we've got animals, and we both work full-time jobs now. That's been something relatively new the last couple of years. In the past, we had lived just on a single income, but sadly, about a year and a half ago or so, I needed to have a surgery, and so in order to have that surgery, my husband luckily was able to start finding jobs outside of the home, more than just part-time work, and we were able to increase our income. That was really great because we were able to pay for my surgery. We didn't have insurance, so we had to figure out how to pay for it up front, and we were able to get it all paid off last summer. But sadly, life has continued to throw us some curveballs, and we have not been able to make a ton of progress on our debt since then. So what I want to do this year is I want to get them all listed out into my new planner here, and then we're going to kind of go from there. I want to restart the way I budget for everything and the way me and my husband communicate about our finances. I really want to start tracking what we spend. I know that there are certain areas that we spend way too much money. So we'll figure out kind of how to redefine that. But for the time being, I want to get it all listed out, and I want to start creating a plan on how we're going to get out of this mess. So let's go ahead and dive in, and we will get it all listed out, and then I will see you guys here in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I have my planner out in front of me, and I'm just looking for my pen. Alrighty. So these balances are going to be as of 4/30. So I'm just going to write 4/30. 20 up at the top, and I'm probably not going to fill in the priority column just yet because I don't know if I'm going to go in order of the way I list them yet, or if I'm going to kind of pick and choose. I like the Dave Ramsey snowball method idea. And there's several things that I will be doing using that method. But there's one loan in particular that I really want to tackle, and then we have a couple interest-free credit cards that we were able to take advantage of for some transfers. So I will probably tackle those first. So let's just dive in. So the first one I'm going to start with is going to be just our regular kind of consumer stuff. These are going to be things that I bought from Walmart and iPhones and some attorney fees and some medical expenses. So I want to go ahead and list them up top. So we'll just call this one Affirm 1. It has a balance of $80 right now, and the payment is $20 a month. The next one is I've got an Affirm 2, and the balance is $334, and the monthly payment is $35. So the first one is where we got a new water dispenser. The water in our town isn't very good. It's not good drinking water. And so we usually go and fill up 5-gallon jugs at the water stations. And so that's that one. And I've had it for a little while. I think it started out at like $200 or something like that. But as you can tell, it's almost paid off. So probably going to try and tackle that one here pretty soon. The next one is we bought new iPhones around Christmas, and we owe the same amount on both of them. And they're included in our phone bill each month. So I'm really looking forward to trying to get these ones taken care of, hopefully soon. We'll see. I'd like to do them maybe by the end of the year. And those are those payments. The next one is a computer that my husband had purchased. And it's a relatively new one. So the balance is still pretty high on that. The second one here is actually a laptop that I got one of my kids from Walmart, because we do homeschool and we do teaching textbooks, Science Shepherd, and we just do a few things on the computer. So I wanted to be able to have another computer that they could use, like a laptop. And then we have an attorney retainer that we are not making payments on yet. And then we have some medical bills. So when my husband was in the hospital, he was in the hospital for a little while, and I was making little payments on it. But then when everybody got laid off from the COVID, I missed a payment during the month he got laid off. And sadly, they've already sent him to collections. So right now they're just kind of sitting there. But I am going to go ahead and total these ones up, and I'm just going to call them consumer. So I guess I will do it right here. I think we'll be fine. So that's the total of our consumer debt at the moment. Now we will go ahead and move into the credit cards. Now, like I said, we have been on a debt-free journey for a little bit. And so the things that we did charge on credit cards, these ones specifically that I am going to list are items that I still include in our budget each month that I've been trying to use as snowball payments. And it's worked for the most part. You know, sadly, we didn't make a ton of progress last year, but we were still able to pay off several things. So we'll go ahead and dive into those. But I thought it was important that I go ahead and I list them because I still budget for them. Just because I want that snowball payment. Now, because things have gotten kind of crazy and my husband no longer gets overtime at the moment, we'll probably go through and restructure all of our monthly expenses. We don't really have a whole lot of expenses, like we don't have satellite. The most expensive thing that we pay for every month is going to be our cell phones and our internet. So there's not really a ton of room to cut back on anything. So what I want to do is I want to go through and figure out how much we need to save each. Okay, sorry about that. I had a visitor from my daughter. She had to come in and tell me goodnight for the 10th time. So now we have Big Lots. So Macy's is where I just got clothes for school, or not school, but clothes for work. Like I said, I do work in an accounting firm. Okay, good night, sweetie. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, she had to tell me goodnight for the 11th time now. I do work in a public accounting firm, so I do have to wear professional clothing. And every now and again, when Macy's does some sales, I do like to purchase off their website because they do have some pretty good deals. Now, Chase, Amazon, stuff like that, most of that's going to be like household supplies, pet care items, things like that. Sam's Club, we buy groceries from. And then we really needed a new mattress. We made the mistake of buying a really cheap Sleep Number mattress a couple years ago, and it was just awful. Like, it was awful, awful, awful. So we bought a new bed frame and a mattress, or a new mattress from Big Lots, and then we got our bed frame from Overstock, and we bought some furniture from American Home Furniture. So that's where those ones came from. But if you buy a Sleep Number bed, do not buy the cheapest base model ever. There's no padding to it. It was just awful, awful. Oops, I don't have my white out yet, so that's okay. But American Home, we bought some couches and a few things for around the house. And then Care Credit is where we actually finance the surgery center when I had my surgery. And this ends all the items that we have paid off recently or within the last couple months. Stage, that's like Bells. There again, they have clothes. So sometimes I buy clothes for me there. Sometimes I buy them for my kids. But I'm getting pretty close on that balance. And then we get into Capital Ones. You're going to see that we have a lot of Capital Ones. They were just easy to get. Like this one in particular was one of my starter credit cards. I believe it was a secure card, and I had to put down a deposit to get the credit card. But then they slowly kind of increased it on me, and I think I've worked up to like a $750 credit limit with them. But it was just a really great starter card for somebody who didn't have any credit. So that's kind of how I got started with my credit cards. And then we have my husband's Capital One card. That was not a secure card. And then JCPenney's. That's another one where I buy a lot of my work clothes from them. And some kids' clothes, not a ton. We've got a Bank of America Visa card. That was just general. I think we bought Christmas on there one year. I'm not positive. And then we've had to charge on it here and there for a couple other things. And then we have an Amazon store card. Okay, so the Citi card is new. I am actually in the process of trying to do some transfers onto it to clear out some of these other balances. I try to focus on things with, I guess, best bang for our buck. I'm sorry, now I'm getting all choked up. But for instance, like we have an Overstock card, and you're going to see here in just a minute that the payment is actually really large. So what I'm trying to do is transfer some of these kind of in between balances so that I can save more money on the monthly payments, so that when I do snowball them, I get the better benefit from it. Okay, and then my husband has 2 Credit One accounts. One's a Visa and then one's a MasterCard. I would never recommend them. Their interest rate is awful. And they have really high annual fees, things like that. So eventually, once we get these ones paid off, I'm hoping that we can get rid of these. And I don't even remember what we bought on these. I know they were just kind of miscellaneous things that we needed around the house, groceries, things like that. But honestly, other than that, I couldn't tell you. Okay. So this one is another card that we got for a balance transfer. And we've transferred part of this balance here into this balance to reduce the payment. Hopefully I'll get this one paid off. But this one's interest free until October. So we're trying to get this one paid down. So the minimum payment is actually only $35, but I budget for $80 right now until I get a few more things paid off. And then I plan on increasing the payment just to knock them out. Now, Chase gave me an introductory interest-free period a while back. That's where we got our washer and dryer. We've also had a few other things pop up that we had to put on it. But that's where that one came from. Best Buy was just stupid decisions. But I don't know. I guess you live and you learn, hopefully, from all the mistakes. I'm really hoping that we do learn from them. Now, here's Overstock. Now, we got some Christmas stuff on there. We got some things for around the house. Just miscellaneous stuff. For the most part, they've been okay to work with. The payments are a little higher because I did put them on the shorter terms so that hopefully I could pay them off without paying interest. But as you can see, we are pretty spread thin, and so it makes it really hard to tackle anything at the moment. Now this one's a MasterCard. There again, we've used mainly for groceries, gas, things like that. But I think I've used it for a couple other purchases as well. Honestly, I don't remember what we even put on the Discover cards. I know that's pathetic, but I believe one of them we used to buy camping and boat supplies with. We were gifted a boat, and you know, when you're gifted a boat, you have to use it, right? So what we did because I'm starting to run out of room over here a little bit, and I still have a couple more, but I won't have room for a total. I'm going to go ahead and move to this side right here. But yeah, we were gifted a boat, and you know, when you're gifted a boat, you're expected to use it. So we had to buy life jackets, and we had to repair the boat a little bit. I mean, not much. It needed like an oil change, and then we had to buy like all of the supplies, like the buoys and the I can't even remember everything, but you know, just all the stuff for the boat. And then we also had to buy a hitch or a towing kit for our Highlander so that we could pull the boat. And yeah, so I know at least one of those cards were used for that. And then I have a State Farm Visa card. I think we charged that one up the same summer we started doing boat activities. I don't remember. And then the sad thing is that we literally used the boat like twice, and it has sat there ever since, just because we haven't had the time or the money to do anything with it. So it's been kind of crazy, but all right, so these are our total credit cards. And it's $44,433, and our minimum payments are $1,675. And then we will lead into the loans. So for the loans, I'm just going to lump all the loans together. I know what they are, so I mean, I'll put a little note next to them, but I'm just going to lump them all together because they're not going to be on my number one priority list, but I still want them all here together with everything else, just so that I have everything in one place and I can see what the total was when we first decided to really get serious on all this. So this payoff loan is where we had tried to originally consolidate some stuff, and then sadly we were stupid and we charged it all back up. And then we have two auto loans. One is for our Prius, which the only reason we got that one is because my husband had a pretty long commute and our car broke down, and what we saved in gas buying it made up for the car payment when we first bought it. And then we also have a Highlander. As you can tell, we like Toyota products. And we've had this one for a couple of years as well. And then we'll lead into the student loans. So this is my first student loan, and it is through UHEA. And I have it on an income-based repayment plan right now, so I only pay $31. The second one is for my husband, and it is through Navient. And that one is not on an income-based repayment plan because we have been actually trying to get it paid. We applied for the income-based repayment plan, but they denied us on that one. So, and then this one is my last one, and it is the biggest chunk, and I am so appalled at how much it is. I pay on it every month, and it doesn't even cover the interest. So, yeah, I can't believe that it's that much. And then finally, we have our house. And like I said, we got a pretty good deal on it. So we don't actually owe a ton on it. And as long as the economy doesn't take a total dive over the next couple of years with everything going on, we should have some equity in that. We should have a good chunk of equity. So total loans, we owe $282,506, and our payments are $2,399. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and I'll put our total debt right here. And it is for a whopping $342,998. And we have total payments of $4,331. Like I said, this does include a couple things that we have paid off. So let me get this in view, and then let me find my highlighters, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have my highlighter. Now, like I said, we have already paid off several things. So I'm going to highlight them in yellow because I'm not really sure where my other highlighters are at the moment. And I don't see them. But I want to go ahead and mark the items that we paid off prior to us trying to get serious. And that way I know kind of where we started this time around. So this one I paid off. 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 This one. And this one. And let me see if I can pull off the payoff dates, because some of these were pretty recent. I know that they were recent. So Care Credit I paid off September of 19. So 9 of 19. The Sam's Club store. Don't see that one, so I'm going to have to dig that one up. This one I paid off in January. The Chase Amazon card. I paid that one off in February. The Big Lots card, I paid that one off in September. And then American Furniture, I paid that one off last March. So now it's just the Sam's Club store card. So let me see if I can find that one really quick. That way I can get that one in here as well. Okay, so I paid that one off in February of this year. Okay, so that is where we are. Okay, so I'm back, and that was our crazy, crazy mess. As you could tell, we have accumulated a ton of debt. Thank goodness, you know, we've had a few things pop up this year, so I feel like, I'm sorry, the email is going nuts, and I hate that little ding it makes, but we have managed to increase part of our income again. My husband is back to work, so hopefully, you know, we'll be able to dive back into cleaning up this mess. But the one thing that I want to focus on is, like I said, getting it all listed out. That way we can make a plan. And then the next thing I want to do is I just want to start with a simple budget. I'm going to restart everything, kind of redefine the way I budget for things, because it makes it a little difficult for tracking. I primarily track it all on the computer, and I'm trying to figure out kind of how to implement that onto paper, so that me and my husband can really have those family budget meetings, because I think that's going to be really helpful. One, we need to do a monthly budget recap. That way he can see where we started and then what we ended up spending. And then two, I just really want to start planning out our debt freedom journey, so that hopefully we can make a dent in this mess this year and really get onto a really good routine. So I do plan on paying off several things so far this year, but there are a couple things that are going to be coming up that we're going to have to deal with. One of them is going to be that we need to plan our upcoming homeschool year. Since we do homeschool all three of our kids, I've got to finish purchasing curriculum. Thank goodness we've been doing it long enough that we're able to reuse some of the curriculum that we already had. So that will be something that I try to plan for. And then the other thing that we've got to do is really start establishing some sinking funds, allocating personal spending money, and, you know, just really sticking within that budget so that we don't overspend in other areas, as well as building up an emergency fund. When I go through and I reset all of our finances, I'm going to hopefully be able to allocate some money to an emergency fund. But if we can at least kind of clean up our cash flow a little bit, so that, you know, something that happens again, we don't have so many required payments going out. That's probably going to be my main priority until we get to the point where we've got enough momentum going on that we can funnel some money back into savings. So that's going to be it. I'll probably try to build up to a $1,000 emergency fund. I feel like that would be pretty beneficial. And then go ahead and get that transferred out into a new account. And then that way we've got it there when we need it. The other thing that I'm trying to do is, like I said, we are implementing a paper planner budget. So that's going to be for me and my husband, so that we can really communicate about our finances and where we are, because I see it all the time on the computer. I love computer programs. I love spreadsheets. So I actually update our budget every day, or I categorize our spending anyway. I usually sit down once a month and I try to get things kind of posted throughout the month on which bills I like to pay out of each paycheck, but there's been very little follow through on where the money really went. So that's going to be the next step that I try to focus on. And then from there, we'll just kind of see how things go. Hopefully these will be enough changes for us to get out of our old habits. and then we can really start to see some improvement to our finances and just a major decrease in our spending overall. I'm hoping, because we're kind of mid-year, I'm hoping to pay off at least $15,000 worth of debt. I know that doesn't seem like much if you look at our overall debt, but the things I'm going to prioritize are going to be those Affirm loans, the payoff loan, and then really just trying to take care of anything that has a balance under $500, because I think those are easy targets, I guess, because they do have lower balances. The minimum payments are a lot of times like $30. And so if I can knock out a couple of those, then, you know, it'll just kind of increase our debt snowball all around. The main priority, although I probably won't do the full Dave Ramsey debt snowball where you start with the lowest balances and work your way up, I'll probably do more of a hybrid method. I'm really going to try to focus on those balances that are within our reach, that require the most outgoing cash flow. So, you know, if I've got a balance of, say, that computer is $1,000 balance, it's got a $100 payment on there. Same thing with our overstock. It's got a really large balance. So if I can get those ones out of the way, get them transferred over to interest-free free account so that I can pay off the remaining balance with cash, then that's certainly what I want to do. We do have that interest-free credit card through Capital One that my husband got, and we've already done a balance transfer on it. And so, you know, I really want to get that paid off before the interest-free period runs out. So that's kind of where we're at. I cannot wait to really sit down and plan it out so that I can kind of see how much we can accomplish so far this year. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I know it's kind of late in the month, so I probably won't be doing too many May budgets. But what I will do is probably do a budget for our May 29th paycheck, as well as our June budget and our June 1st paycheck. So those will be coming up here pretty soon. So if you want to see them, stick around. And then hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to do an update on our May progress. So I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day, and we will see you soon.